Well, hi everyone, Casey Truffo here today, and I'm here today to answer a question from Marcia about websites. Marcia says, Casey, I've been trying to put my website together forever. I'm feeling like I'm stuck on the ideal client exercise and nothing seems to get done. I want to get it done. Do you have any tips for helping me move forward? Yes, Marcia, I do actually. Today we're going to talk about 3 tips to help you move forward. Number 1 is a question, and that is, are you making it harder than you need to? And when I say that, what I mean is perhaps you're trying to make it too perfect. So tip number 1 is we want to focus on completion rather than perfection. And know that your website is an organic living thing that you will go back again and again and again and update as time goes on. So that's tip number 1. Make it lighter and easier. Don't focus so much on perfection. Tip number 2, set yourself a time frame. Now, I don't know about you, but I love to play beat the clock, and I can procrastinate with the best of them. So when I set myself a time frame and a deadline, things get done. So if you're going to have 4 pages on your website, say your home page and your About Marcia page and your Contact Marcia page and maybe a frequently asked questions, which is kind of an optional page, set yourself a deadline for each one of those. Now, one thing I know is that we therapists and clinicians and coaches and healing professionals tend to sometimes make it harder than it needs to. So maybe at the beginning of the day or the end of the day, just spend about a half an hour coming up with what you would want on that page. The home page can take a little bit longer, but the other pages, maybe a half an hour, maybe an hour. And I think that if you set a deadline and a time limit, you'll get that website done before you know it. And then step number 3, sometimes people are struggling a little bit with what content to put on the website. So what I recommend you do is come up with about 5 questions that your clients ask you. Now, I know you said here, Marcia, that you were a little bit stuck on the ideal client exercise. I'm going to ask you to lighten up there and let that go and just think about 4 or 5 questions that your clients ask you either when they call on the phone or in the very first couple of sessions. And then don't use those questions on your website necessarily, but begin to develop some copy or some text based on how they must be feeling. Because remember, you want your website to be 80% about the client and about 20% about you. So I hope these tips have helped you, Marcia, and anybody else that's procrastinating on their website. And I look forward to seeing you on the next video when we're going to be talking about, okay, I want to create a website, but how do I do that? Do I hire a web designer? Do I do it myself? And if I do it myself, how do I do that? And if you like this video, can you share it with your friends? Either share it with them on Facebook, Twitter, or invite them to come to Be a Wealthy Therapist and get more of our videos and audios and free stuff. Catch you on the next video. This is Casey Truffo from Be a Wealthy Therapist and the International Therapist Leadership Institute, signing off and saying, happy practice building. Mwah.